Hello guys, so today we're gonna do writing task 1 line graph. I'm gonna show you how to use my previous lecture which I've sent you where I explained all those structures. Also you can find it on my Telegram channel. And so let's start it. So basically I got this task from Cambridge book for IELTS preparation, book number 8, and this is test 4. So let's read the task. Writing task 1. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The graph below shows the quantities of goods transported in the UK between 1974 and 2002 by 4 different modes of transport. Summarize information by selecting and importing the main features and to make comparison where relevant. Write at least 150 words. So in case of words, basically, as you know, when you do paper-based or online, like a computer-based test, you can just see what the number of the words which you typed on a Word file. So in case of the paper-based exam, you're supposed to count, but when you are practicing with writing a task, you know how many words you have, so you don't have to waste your time. In case you're not sure, you can of course to check it out. So this lecture called writing task 1 line graph, it says about the whole structure for to use in order to get high score on writing task 1. This is the beginning of it. You can use for any of your bar chart or anything. So I've just explained all of this structure in my previous video and explain all of this comparison, how to use it, and how to describe when you have considerable changes, when you have no changes, when you have similar changes, and when you have some kind of trends at the end of the line graph. You have to tell you can get higher score when at the end of your text you analyze what kind of trend you had there. And I'm gonna explain from beginning till the end of this writing task 1 line graph. So in this graph, so we can see goods transported in the UK between 1974 and 2002. And here vertical part, it's million tons from 0 to 120, and from the right it's year 1974 till 2002. And this mode of transport: road, water, rail, and pipeline. So here below I already typed my own answer to this line graph. You can use it as an example. You can follow the same structure. So when you just started to do your writing task 1 and you don't know how to do it, it's a lot of materials on YouTube, on social media, on Google, internet. So you don't have to waste your time on all of it. So it's better to focus to one structure. That is what I've done before passing IELTS exam, because I had like a couple of months to get prepared for it. So I didn't have that much time to review all of these books and to follow all of them, because some of them were just giving one instructions, and others one were giving another kind of instructions, and they were like a bit different. It was really hard for me to focus on one structure. So that's why I'm gonna show you my main structure which I've used, and it's like just a couple of pages, and you don't have to read like a 100-page book in order to get it. So we start with structure I explained you before. We start with introduction. So first of all, in introduction part, you have to reword or paraphrase your first sentence which is given in your task. So let's read it. The graph below shows the quantities of goods transported in the UK between 1974 and 2002 by 4 different modes of transport. So how I'm gonna write? The supplied line graph shows, it presents, illustrates, gives. You can write it that way. The line graph provides. I've just used provides because it's here. It says shows. I didn't want to repeat it because I will not tell that they pay attention on it, but it's better to show the ability of synonyms. in order to get like a decent score. So the line graph provides information about, you can just like information or anything like that in order to show like to make the sentence full of details. So provide information about goods transported in the UK by means of 4 various transport modes over the period from 1974 to 2002. So you say the supplied line graph provides information about this, and you have to, of course, you have to tell about the time in your first sentence, in introduction part. I've explained you this in my previous lesson. Over the given period, over a 2-year period, over a 10-year period, you can say from, in my case, from like this year to this year. In my case, I just wrote in order to get more words, 150 words. I put like over the period from 1974 to 2002. So we go further to this body paragraph 1. In body paragraph 1, so you see your line graph, you have to analyze it. You can't just describe everything which you see on your line graph. It's not the way to accomplish this task. You need to analyze it. So first of all, look at this. As you can see, this route just increased from 1974 till 2002. It increased moderately. So here further water is also increased moderately, like not just moderately, like a sharp increase, and it stayed at the same levels, and sharp decrease, and it's just sharp increase. So further, in case of rails, it just slightly decreased within like a couple of years, and then it came to its previous level as it was at the beginning of this year. So in case of pipeline, it was at the low level and just increased, remained stable for a couple of years, slightly decreased, and remained constant till the end of this period. So, but this is we are describing related to each line. But we can't describe each line. We have to describe by comparing to each other, which I've done here. So in 1974, goods transported by road constituted approximately 70 million tons, and it went up significantly by 95 million tons throughout the period. So I was just describing that it constituted in 1974 this value, and it increased until 95, which is really high amount compared to others, and it reached 95 millions by the end of this period. So further, I'm comparing. Since I have the same result with water, I just decided to say that water had the same increase as road. But which kind of words I supposed to use here? So since it was the same, I was just, you can use these my examples. Similarly or likewise, I use similarly. So following sentence, I'm gonna write about water. Since this had the same results as road, I'm just gonna write similarly. From 1974 to 1982, goods transported by water slowly increased from 38 million tons to about 60 million tons over the given period. So it increased from 38 approximately to 60 million to about 60 million tons over the period, over the given period, you can say, in case you want to use more words. So this is our body paragraph 1, where we decided to compare this road and water, and they had basically approximately the same progress. They increased throughout the whole period. So we just said about that. In this body paragraph 2, we have 2 remaining modes of transport, so we're gonna say about them. So this is basically our body paragraph 2 here. As you can see, introduction we already wrote, Before it was body paragraph 1, here it's going to be body paragraph 2. From 1974 to 1994, pipeline transportation rose gradually from nearly 5 million tons to exactly 20 million tons, and it stayed at the same level in the next 8 years. So I decided to write about pipeline. So as you can see, it's slightly increased and it stayed at the same level till the end of this period. So I was just saying that it stayed at the same level till this next 8 years. You can just say till the end of this period, something like that. But since we already use it here in the body paragraph 1, I just wanted to show the diversity of it. And that's what I just wrote in the way that in the next 8 years. So since the change which had happened to pipeline and the rail are different, I was just using however. I do not recommend this to use similarly and to combine two similar things twice in body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. That's why here I was using the contrast. So we go to our examples of where we had a contrast, and when we have different changes, we can say however. By contrast, on the other hand, I was just using however. But when you realizing that you have less than 150 words and you are realizing that you don't have that much time to implement a lot of words in order to reach that 150 requirement of words, the number of words, better to use on the other hand. I highly recommend it. It helps, trust me. So I just use however. So however, goods transportation by rail constituted 40 million tons in 1974, and it had no significant changes over the whole period. So to say it stayed at the same level. When we don't have that much changes, we can say had no significant changes, had no changes, or didn't change. It's up to you. So I just wrote that had no significant changes because it's more words. Basically, you can just say didn't change if you, as I said, you have more than 150 words and you're okay with that. So we go further to the conclusion. To sum up during the given period. So in case of to sum up, this is our last part. This is conclusion part. It's here. I highly recommend to use 3 words which I've explained in my previous lecture. Overall, to sum up and to summarize. I always use to sum up to be sure that I have enough number of words. So I use to sum up. To sum up during the given period, goods transported by road, water, pipeline had upward trend, and rail transportation had no significant changes. Moreover, it is clear that goods transportation by rail had no considerable progress in demand. So we're just saying about trend. I highly recommend when using line graph to write about trends at the end. It shows that you are analyzing a line graph, you are representing it, you are explaining in details, and at the end of your writing task 1, you as an expert are saying, okay, this like road, water, and pipeline had like an upward trend, and your transportation didn't have that much changes. And you can just say this, and as an expert, you analyzed whole line graph during that 20 minutes, and you can just like an expert write your opinion, like just opinion, like your conclusion, because you are summing it up. It's this conclusion part, and you can just write here what exactly you say and what exactly you analyze during this 20 minutes. This is okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was really trying to do my best to explain you, not to waste your time on it. Just be prepared to this kind of tasks and to analyze it, and there's a way how to analyze it by means of my own example, because on YouTube I saw a lot of videos where just they were saying some kind of examples, but they were not showing their own strategy how to use it, their own examples. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good day, good your IELTS exam, especially with your writing task 1. So bye.